maybe before we start, we'll start with Leo, and we'll introduce ourselves around, so everyone knows who's there.
We could do that.
All right, I'm Leo Fritz, and I do have a name tag, but it's on my jacket, and I got a little dirty and there's some sawdust on it, which I didn't want to eat, so I left it out on the lake. But I knew Larry for a good many years. I recall him coming over to my shop and having a look at my one-way, and then he brought this big, huge block of wood over there to see if I could round it out for him. And he was going to try it on his new one or something. So we did that, and yeah, he always enjoyed turning and was always right up to date on all the latest gimmicks and tools that were out there. So I'm glad to be here, and I hope I can come again.
Larry taught me my very first turning class, and I have the piece. He wasn't going to allow the students to have like real wood. He found like pieces, and he glued them together of raw tree, and we were, because none of this was going to survive anyway. Anyhow, so I still have my first piece, and Larry was the first teacher I had, and then I took classes from Trent, and I think that's all the classes I've ever taken is from Trent and Larry.
And you've got a chance this summer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so enough.
Sandra Upseth. Turn my back on everybody, sorry. Vern's my dad. I started turning with him, and Joe was the other person. And then Trent, I took some classes with Trent. I'm here today fundraising for cancer instead of being at a funeral from cancer. So I'm really spending my day thinking a lot about it.
My name is Trent Watts, and I've been involved with this group right from the beginning, and just have a tremendous respect for Larry and love for him that I'm just so grateful for having had the chance to know him. I think he was a wonderful human being, and we had a lot of fun when we used to do those events. So as some people have commented, I've done further teaching of this, and that has come from my experiences many years ago when Barry started Woodworks and brought turners from around the world who were really just the best in the world, and they would come, and I just had so many opportunities to learn from them. And I've also gone down to Tennessee to Gatlinburg, where there's an art school where many of those turners kind of end up doing stuff. And so I've had a couple of opportunities to go there and take some classes. So I feel like I've had this amazing kind of a whole carousel of people that I've been exposed to. And so I feel, it's not an obligation, but it's a desire to really share that information with many people. And so if people have specific questions and I'm out there and you want to ask me something, don't hesitate to do that, because I really enjoy sharing that knowledge with other people.
Yeah.
I'm Mel Genge. I think I got in on the second classes. I was only a beginner, so I couldn't go the first time. I was like Glenn, I didn't have enough experience. I think the second year at Larry's shop that I was part of it, and Larry lived on Avenue R, 29th Street, and I lived on Bedford. So even during I'm out in the shop maybe in the evening, and Larry would be on the phone. Come over, I just started something. So he was a part of it, and I really enjoyed the time I was able to spend with Larry. And I probably was one of the last guys that spent the last month with Larry. Because of the size of my truck, he could get in, and we could throw the wheelchair in the back, and he could sit in the front seat of my truck. And the last time I took him to Mark Eaton was doing at Marcel's shop, and that was probably 2 weeks before he passed away. Took him in a wheelchair there, and he watched Mark Eaton making panel doors and it was. So it was a shock when we lost Larry, and I'm really pleased to be able to be back again.
Okay, thank you. Maybe just one thing to add. Some of you have come around and been handing me checks, and that's fine. I don't think that we'll necessarily just check everybody off as we go. If you're here, remember the reason we're here is to raise some money and to have some fun, of course. So during the course of the next day or two, check made out to Canadian Cancer Society, $50 is great. If you feel you'd like to do more, that's up to you. Cash is fine too, and I did explain this before. Just remember to put it in an envelope, seal it, put your name and mailing address on it as well, okay? And by the end of tomorrow, we'll collect everything, and it'll probably go in on Monday, I would think. And like I said, by the end of the week, you'll have a receipt.